live. Full Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing on the turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up for turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network, live tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway, Stafford Springs, Connecticut. We are here with the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour. It is the 3-Tap 113 presented by the Bottled Up Podcast, and it comes to you live tonight via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Hello, everybody. Phil Lacassier, Jack Jewett on the controls, and back alongside, I guess, my broadcast partner. We got a 3-man team here tonight. Could it be the one and only, the legendary Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton back alongside, coming to join me with a pavement modified race? Could it be?
Oh, I took you out of your realm there, Phil, so I've got to take myself into a realm that don't know here, the modifieds here of what I call your country, really, up there in Connecticut in that area. I never got a chance to really watch any of these types of cars. Always watched them on TV, but man, I've always kind of had a hankering to watch some of these, so it's going to be rather interesting.
I'll tell you what, the TV doesn't do it justice. You got to be there in person to live what one of these cars can do. They call it by the grace of God in 650 horsepower. That's exactly what we're going to do here tonight. Big block modified style at the home of the SK Modified, the Stafford Motor Speedway. The Root family owned this place for a long time, and some of the absolute best of the best have won here over the years. The likes of, say, like a Dale Earnhardt, Tim Richmond, Richie Evans, Jeff Bodine, just to name a few to name drop there. Even most recently, guys like Ryan Preece here have won multiple times at the Speedway over the years. So great to have you aboard. Qualifying just complete here. Tonight's Hard Motorsports quick time goes to car number 14 of Chris Forster, 18.491. That is hauling the mail here at Stafford. He is going to be on the top of the qualifying grid, but qualifying not really going to play too much into it, Todd. We're going to have 3 heat races out there, 15 laps around. Top 7 will be guaranteed on to the main event. We were hovering right around that 23, 24 car mark. So I think it's shoved down now to 2 heat races of consolation and a 113-lap main event. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll throw it down to you first. You give us the heat race slider for heat race number 1. All right, he's not going to do it. He was reading some of the names. He was shuddering. He didn't know. I love you, Todd. He's eating.
Phil.
Okay, he just got home from work. I'll give him a pass there. He was last second Charlie here. Probably back to old times with Todd, I tell you, back to DRTV even. But on the poll, he said tonight's Hard Motorsports quick time, Chris Forster aboard car number 14. Alongside modified standout up here in the Northeast aboard car number 09 is Tyler Chadwick. Row number 2 with the number 49 is Jay Perkins with the number 19 of Glenn Press. Pressel on the outside of row 2. Steve Rogers rolls off 5th tonight aboard number 9. He rolls off 5th and alongside the guy in charge of our EastWest Promotions aboard car number 88. That is Keith Jeffrey. Alex Orions will roll off next aboard the number 109. The 86 of Doug Cockerham rolls off of the outside of row 4 in our 5th and final row. Looks like, well, maybe not final row. Kyle Ammon aboard car number 17. Jeff McConey aboard the 24, the guy who's in charge of the Bottled Up podcast we'll tell you all about. And scuttling a shotgun on the field aboard car number 38. Scott Bryant rolls off 11th and final, so we get 11 out there. Top 7 will guarantee themselves on into the main event, so there is still going to be work to do. 15 laps around this legendary half mile. It's very, very flat to the middle of these corners. Not a whole lot of banking to catch you here, but it's modified. You have these big, wide tires. You can really catch it here and ride the dickens out of this place, so we'll see. We'll watch the pace car this time as we head off into turn number 3. He'll make a hard left-hand turn right to the ends of 3. It's kind of a weird little pit road here at the Stafford Motor Speedway as he'll duck on in and we'll turn the field over to what is going to be a lot of fun to watch up front. Chris Forster up there aboard car number 14 Subaru dealership on the side of that thing. Looks really, really neat. And God, it's so good to come out here and do open wheel modifieds again. Had a blast with these guys last week with the Mischief 125 in New Hampshire. That was a big field. More of a league atmosphere here as this is the first race of the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour. Great series schedule on there. You got to find them on Facebook, EastWest Promotions. EastWest is all one word. Check out the great schedule we have in store. We're going to have 4 races at least, and maybe more, but we get the iRacingGuyFlag.com green flag up in the air. Chris Forster going to lead the field off turn 2.
Yeah, Chris Forster in that number 14 machine has Jason Perkins already up to that second spot there, Phil. Remember, the number 49 is Chadwick going to drop back to the third spot. Pretty much single file in line here. They come down the front straightaway. Chadwick
in that third spot in the 09. So top 7 will get their way in the feature event. Definitely Steve Rogers, the number 9. He rolls in that 4th spot. 5th goes to Glenn Pressel aboard his number 19. All single file in the top 5. This is a tricky little track to pass on, I'll tell you. You really got to wind these cars up. Really going to get forward drive off to the middle of the corner, kind of like you would on the dirt, I guess, on the short tracks. You kind of going to feather it in, let it roll, set the nose, maybe dive in the corner, really stop on it. Chris Forster right now doing a heck of a job there. 3 laps in, 15, got to be the distance. You can almost see it, Todd. If you haven't been to Stafford, never seen a lap at Stafford, it's a tough little tricky racetrack to get around. You can carry an awful lot of speed, but these big wide tires, they're going to play a big role. And here comes Chadwick. He's to the low side looking for second off of 2.
Yeah, Chadwick claims the second spot here down the back straightaway. Is Tyler Chadwick aboard the 09 machine. Gets around the 49 of Jason Perkins. Perkins right now running in that third spot. 4th is Steven Rogers aboard the number 9 machine. Having a fantastic run there too, Phil. But he's getting some heavy pressure there from Glenn at number 19.
Sure is. Pressel's number 19 is there riding really good so far. Pressel in position number 5. Right behind them, you get Alex Orions. Keith Jeffrey, he's on that bubble right now for that final transfer. Guys like Kyle Ammon, Jeff McConey, Doug Cockerham behind him. Scott Bryant, a guy who we go way back with this community. Years and years ago, we raced with a guy named Scott Bryant. Back when he was pretty good, sitting out there in P11 right now as we approach halfway. Going to put 6 laps on the book so far, all clean and green. It is all Chris Forster in the number 14. He's got 5 car lengths down in the turn 1.
Yeah, Forster setting a torrid pace here tonight, Phil. His last time by 18.745. His best lap here of the evening so far at 18.608. Obviously, that's the fastest lap so far. Besides maybe Chadwick there, Tyler Chadwick in that 09 machine. He was a little bit quicker last time by, Phil, but this time by Chadwick a little bit slower than Foster. So it's going to be rather interesting to see how that's going to play out. Again, exchanging different lap times lap after lap.
They really are doing a great job so far. Those top 2 can Chadwick chase down Chris Forster up front. So far, it's around 6 car lengths down. Off of the turn number 1 and 2. You got back to the 3rd spot. You find Jay Perkins, a guy we saw have a really good run here last week at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, rolling in 3rd. Steve Rogers rolling in 4th on a 9 car. And I'm almost going to wonder, and I see an old friend of ours, speaking of Rogers crew, Todd, I see our old friend from Excel Racing back in the day, NR 2003. Chris Rogers out there checking in. Hey to Todd and Phil. And going to say hey to Jack down there as well. Chris, I got to ask, is this Steve from the Rogers family out here in this 9 car? I'm dying to know. I was wondering that the other night.
Yes, welcome Chris Rogers. And Rusty Bradshaw out there too there, Phil. Brad Taylor, Joel Carmichael, like he always has been, has came out into the chat box too. First guy to say anything. A lot of times they're on the Full Velocity Racing Network, so good to see Joel out there tuning in too.
Absolutely right. For all you tuning in through Facebook Live, you want to look at the high-def picture? Well, we also have it over on YouTube Live, where you can see a nice high-def look over there. So click on the YouTube feed. I'll bottom that chat is all night long as well. We're also live on the Twitch chat, or Twitch TV /Full Velocity TV channel. We'll come out 3 ways tonight as we are running down these closing laps to field over into turn number 1 and 2 as we speak, or off 3 and 4, I should say. Chris Forster has led every lap listing. Tyler Chadwick has been pretty consistent there, about 5 car lengths back in second. Perkins, Pressel, and now Steve Rogers dropped back to the 5th spot, who is under fire. Keith Jeffries, 88. Keith having a good run here early on.
Definitely Keith having a good run up to the 6th spot, like you said there, Phil. Looking underneath Steven Rogers in that number 9 machine, as Rogers able to hold on so far, being able to slam the door shut on the number 88, Keith Jeffrey. But Jeffrey definitely having a good run. Looks like he's getting off the corner a little bit better than maybe that 9 machine is, Phil.
Certainly is. He's doing a heck of a job right now. But, Todd, we're going to get white flag on the speedway. One more trip around. It'll be one more time for that number 14, Chris Forster, doing one heck of a job out there so far, pacing this field. In the number 14 is Chris coming to us, a Subaru Splash and Go graphics machine from Norwich, Connecticut, and just down the road from me here is the driver of car number 14, who's going to see himself into turns number 3 and 4. He will pick up the win in heat race number 1. Tyler Chadwick in for 2. Jay Perkins will grab 3rd. Glenn Pressel 4th. Steven Rogers grabs the top 5 with Keith Jeffrey and Alex Oriens grabbing that final transfer spot. Kyle Amon, Doug Cockerham, and Scott Bryant will go off into the consolation rounds, as will Jeff McConey in the number 24. Hopefully catch up with Jeff here before we get off the air here tonight with this one. See if we can't get the guy in charge of the Bottled Up podcast on the air. See if we can't, get to know a new name up here, a guy who's an announcer at the Stafford Motor Speedway. So love to get that up on the air here. But Todd, we have heat race number 2 about to roll out there. 11 more cars scheduled. And I look at the couple of names here, and this has got a pretty dang little stack field we have in this one.
Yeah, definitely a stack field there, Phil, as you go up and down through here. And like you said, these guys pretty well. So I'm going to let you have the heat race lineups just like normal. Trying to flow myself to the NASCAR wheeling stuff here, Phil. As you would do to me on the dirt. You know these guys a little bit more. You've been over here.
You say, well, I said, being up here, said Stafford a place. Yeah, I did intern here once upon a time, a couple of years, and it was a lifetime ago. It was back in the 99-2000 season, so it's definitely a lifetime ago since I've been there. Yes, I'm an old guy. Yes, I know it. But as we roll away here from the grid for heat race number 2, on the pole, the winningest driver in the EastWest Modified Tour, the driver of car number 16, the down and dirty, show-powered by Polaris Razor, General Tire, Dirt Fish, Jim Beaver Esports Machine from Northbridge, Massachusetts. That is Dave Bodio, and alongside aboard car number 21, that is Kyle Danek. In row number 2, aboard number 07 is Bobby Rafferty with the number 46 alongside. I'm not sure if Todd's cousin or not. That's Jeffrey Stan on the outside of row 2. Row 3, number 82. Marcus, I see you out there in chat. You got to help me with this one. Marcus Frutnik. I'm going to go with that. Frutnik or Frutnik, or I'm going to try that one. Marcus, maybe you can spell it out for me. I know Todd was looking at that one in horror too, as I was. And then alongside, in the number 18 is Rick Webster. Brad Ringer brings car number 4 out from position number 7 with the 42 of Justin Carey alongside. Michael Steffen was rolled off next there, scheduled aboard the number 97. Do not believe he's going to make the call. Kurt Vigent, guy I haven't talked to here in many, many years, out there aboard car number 7. And shotgun on the field, scheduled to be car number 097 of Tommy Flanagan. So I believe we have 10 of the 11. Top 7 will be guaranteed on into the main event, and I'm hoping I got all those names right. Every now and again, you get one of those that throw you for a tongue twister. Yeah. I got to say, Marcus did that right there. I'm hoping I got that one even close.
Looks like we have some cars wrecking already there, Phil. Looks like they're going to gather back up. Maybe not so much. No, looks like they gather back up. 7 down through the grass there. Number 7, Kurt down through the grass. So we're trying to find everybody through the grass there, Phil.
All right, well, we'll throw some grass up here early. Good news. I don't see no Ute tires down there. We'll throw some grass. You'll get it all sorted out. We don't do silly Ute tires on pavement. We get the Arcombe Gary. You want to see what a car really or a barrier could do to a car, Armco barrier, they tear the dickens out of this place. Stafford always been known for that. Don't want to hit the wall on turn number 3 and 4. But Dave Bodia leading, Kyle O'Danick, Bobby Rafferty, Marcus Strutnick up in that 4th spot, Jeffrey Stanton riding in the top 5, a little bit gap back to Nick Webster, Justin Carey, Tommy Flanagan, Brad Ringer, Kurt Vigent, a guy who has made a billion laps around Stafford over the years aboard an SK Modified and a Modified up. I thought Kurt would have a better showing than this, but they say simulators sometimes a little bit difficult or more challenging than an actual racetrack. I wish we had Afton on a place like this, Todd, so you can know what it was like to go out there with your home track and turn laps. Know what it was like in real life, because I would expect more from a guy like Kurt Vigent, who I've seen for years and years around this joint.
Yeah, he decided he wanted to drive through the grass field, and maybe he don't get a chance to do that
Cutting along
every week. You know what I mean?
Kurt's a good guy. I'm sure Kurt will remember me. It's been years since I've talked to that guy, in person. But I'll tell you what, the lawn care service tonight, your Root family can cancel a lawn service. We'll put it on Kurt Vigent tonight aboard call number 7. But good time here being had, 6 laps in. Dave Bodio, the winningest driver here in the EastWest Modified Tour, leaves the field. Kyle O'Danick and the number 21, which I asked him here last week. The 21, we know what 21 up here in the Northeast is going to be legendary to car owner Art Barry or guys like George Savory and the Savory family. Well, no relation to do with that number, which I was kind of disappointed. But O'Danick having a good run there in that number 21, riding the 2nd spot. Bob Rafferty in that number 07. Now, I believe this is a guy, I'm going to go on my sheet here, Todd. I believe this is a guy who maybe right up, I think it's Mr. Rafferty, maybe right up in our neck of the woods. I'm trying to fumble through my sheet here. From Middletown, New York. That wouldn't be too far from you.
It's not that far, Phil. It's actually, you talk about Middletown, you talk about Orange County Fair Speedway, which is a big dirt track down there, who just celebrated 100 years. The Centennial race went on down there, so it was $100,000 to win the biggest race in the dirt modified history. So that was an interesting show to say the least. So yeah, he's down towards that way. So it's good to see a fellow New Yorker out here.
Sure is. Middletown, New York, not too far. Is that Rafferty, number 07, rides in position number 3, or is this a plain old 7 on the side of that car? No 00, it says on the server. This looks like a plain 7. We'll call it a dang 7. I don't care if we have 15 7s out there. We'll try it out. We'll figure out which one is who. But so far, so good. Dave Bodio leading up front in the 16. O'Danick there. About 3 car lengths back there in that 2nd spot. No threat there whatsoever, as we're about 2/3 the way home. Now 10 complete of 15. Rafferty in for 3rd. Marcus Strutnick. Hoping it's Strutnick back there riding in the 4th spot, riding the tire track. So Rafferty, Stanton back there in the top 5. Webster, Justin Carey, another guy we saw have a really good night in New Hampshire a few weeks ago. 42 car rides up in that 7th spot. I see 42 and a Carey. If somebody out there is watching me, the Carey name famous at the Stafford Motor Speedway, is that 42 and a Carey name affiliated with that family? I'm going to hope the answer is yes. Somebody out there watching, fill me in.
There's definitely a lot of people out there watching here. Every once in a while, Phil, you see it spike up through. Normally on the dirt side of things here, the Full Velocity Racing Network, we're trying to branch out into the asphalt side of things here and trying to get some more great leagues out here. And it's great to have the modifieds, which are the closest thing I'm going to say to getting my feet wet with maybe the big block modifieds here, the dirt series stuff. So I enjoy watching these cars go around because again, Troyer's involved in this too.
They really are. Troyer chassis, one of the bigger makes out there for sure. You see that transfer onto the dirt. So we like that one for sure. So we like that. We're going to see white flag on the speedway this time around. One more trip around for Dave Bodio's number 16, looking to make quick work here in heat racing action. O'Danick, Rafferty, Stanton, Frutnick, you're going to stay out in the top 5. Frutnick, I'm going to go with that one all night long. We're going to try that out. Webster, Carey, now Brad Ringer in the 8th spot. Tom Flanagan, Kurt Vigent rounding out our field. Kurt about to go a lap down as we're going to checkered flag on the field. Dave Bodio going to take down the win, put Kyle in for 2, Rafferty for 3rd, Stanton 4th, and Marcus Frutnick will round out our top 5. So that should do it for heats. The question I'm going to have is what we're going to do for a consolation round. We did put top 7 in. Are we going to see a consi in? Nope. We are going to skip right through. They are all going to race. Great call by the crew over here at the EastWest Promotions. So before we get feature racing tonight, tell you all about our great presenting sponsor here, of course, the Bottle Up Podcast. Let's take this thing trackside, pay honor to this great nation, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of our national anthem. All right, back here live inside the Stafford Motor Speedway. God, does it just feel weird to say that out here in iRacing again, but so cool to do so. Right here, Full Velocity Racing Network, presented by our friends over at the Bottled Up Podcast. Launched in 2018 in December. It is hosted by NASCAR credentialed journalist and Stafford Motor Speedway announcer Jeff McConey. Bottled Up is available anywhere you get your podcasts, including iTunes, Google Music, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. There have been many guests of the NASCAR world on the show, ranging from local racers to NASCAR Cup Series spotters and NASCAR Hall of Fame member Ray Evernham. With weekly episodes, the Bottle Up Podcast is your go-to source for information on the racing world. Posted every Saturday morning, make sure to check out the Twitter page at Bottled Up Radio to download the free Flick Chat app to talk with other fans of the show and production team members by using the code Bottled Up, all in one word and lowercase. This week's episode features NASCAR modified driver and upcoming 2020 Xfinity Series driver from Our Motorsports, Andy Seiss, a guy who's been around the modified series up here for a long time, ran a little bit in the ARCA series in the last couple of years. So Andy Seiss is going to be an upcoming guest here on the Bottled Up Podcast. Check him out today, Bottled Up Radio, over on Twitter. And thank you so much to Jeff McConey for coming aboard here. Cool to see a name and a place and a podcast that we said very, very prevalent up here in Modified Country. The Bottle Up Podcast. Check them out today.
Definitely can't wait, Phil. That's gonna. I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to check that out too. That Bottle Up Podcast. It sounds rather interesting. For a guy that doesn't know much about these modifieds, I really probably should tune in. And I got a lot of interest in them, though. I really do.
It's a great series, and man, I'm gonna tell you what. We talked a little bit Tuesday night. We had our buddy Brendan Spatafor on here. We talked modified racing. Let's go through our lineup here real quick for the 3-Tap 113, a tribute to the legendary late, great Teddy Christopher here, who makes Stafford home. On the pole with the number 07 is Bobby Rafferty with Jay Perkins alongside aboard car number 49. Row 2, Kyle O'Danick, and the number 21, Tyler Chadwick in the 09. Row 3 with the number 16 of Dave Bodio and the 14 of Chris Forrester. Top 6 were inverted from Heats. I like that. Seventh starter, the number 19 is Glenn Pressel III with Jeffrey Stanton's number 46. Steven Rogers in the 9. Marcus Fritnick aboard car number 82 with Keith Jeffries number 88. Rick Webster's number 18 rolls off 12th. 13th will be the 109 of Alex Oriens Orion. So where we go? That Justin Carey next to board car number 42. Kyle Ammon in the number 17. The 4 is Brad Ringer. The 86 of Doug Cockerham. Tommy Flanagan to the 97. Scott Bryant, number 38. Kurt Vigin in the number 7. The number 24, Jeff McConey, making up what I believe is a 21-car field, 113 laps. We are green flag racing with Stafford Motor Speedway, and it is Bobby Rafferty going to lead the field down the back straightaway.
Yeah, iRacing, iFlag, green flag up in the air, and it's Bob, like you said, Bobby Rafferty right now, your current race leader, with the number 21 sitting in that second spot now. Third is a nice battle going on there, Phil. And my scoring and time, and it really messes up Dave Bodio down to the bottom side there. The 49 of Jason Perkins. Perkins drifting way up the track. Bodio up to third.
Bodio up to third, and look for that guy to come alive here. That 16's the winningest driver on the tour. Look for Dave Bodio to be a player here tonight. Stafford Motor Speedways. We're in the back straightaway into turn number 3 now. 3 laps going to go on the board next time by. Rafferty going to lead. Bodio was really quick in his heat. He is going to look for second as he looks for running room down low. Almost wash up there, hits the flat track. Odanic in the 21 stuck up high. Dave Bodio from 6 all the way up to second as they exit 4.
Yeah, Odanic in the number 21 machine really stuck up high as Bodio still working over the bottom side. So that's gotta feel rather interesting being stuck up on the top, probably like a Talladega there, Phil. You don't want to be stuck up top, but the train is moving down towards the bottom side of the speedway. And the number 14 of Chris Foster now battling for the third spot there with the number 21.
Foster doing a great job. That Subaru sponsored Splash and Go Designs. We'll call out Splash and Go. We've done Splash and Go, Cosworth of the gang for a long time, so cool to see him out here representing the EastWest Promotions Modified Tour. That 14 car, fastest driver in all of Stafford this evening. Quick time, won his heat race. That number 14 car up to third. Bodio looking for the lead. He is under Rafferty. Give Dave Bodio the lead off of 4.
Yeah, Rafferty drifts way up the track, leaves the door wide open, and then Bodio able to pounce there and take over the top spot there in the number 16 machine. But the 14 of Chris Foster now tapping there on the rear bumper. The number 7 of Rafferty. We'll see if Rafferty's going to be able to hold on as he slams the door shut just a tad bit. Diamond in the corner, but now he drifts up the track as the number 14 wrestling that second spot away, trying to at least. And that is Forrester.
It certainly is. Forster down low, Rafferty up high. You think about it on the pavement, 9 degrees of banking. You can see that number 14 car all the way down on the flat. There is no banking down there. You're looking to make that car rotate through the center. Don't want to heat these tires up. Chris doing a great job. Rafferty going to make him go the hard way around to the inside, but look at the big run that F14 gets to the corner. I think he's going to be able to dive in at that time. They stay wheel to wheel, nerve bar to nerve bar, heading down to the turn 3.
They get it a little bit loose. The Rafferty looks like he got a little bit sideways there coming off the corner. Not a whole heck of a lot, but enough to allow the 14 to able to gather it back in. And Forrester and able to pull up alongside of him again here. And now it looks like Forrester almost made some contact there with the number 7 machine as the 7 pulled up off of him there. That is Rafferty. So Chadwick going to capitalize on that too. And that 09 machine, he's going to move his way into that third spot.
Got Tyler Chadwick doing a great job in the 09 up to now position number 3. Can he chase down a very fast twosome up front between Dave Bodio, Chris Forster? 10 laps in. We've already seen a lot of action here at Stafford. It's an action track for a reason. One of the best short tracks in the entire country. That's why guys like Kevin Harvick come out here and sponsor the SK Modified Division winner each and every Friday night here at Stafford. This is one of the greatest places to race. Some of the best names ever have come here and raced at least one time. And right now, you got one of the best here of the East-West Promotions League. You got Dave Bodio. He's got 2 car lengths, but Forster's starting to chase him down. I think that lap time last time by, maybe a little tad bit quicker for that 14.
Yeah, the half a second back is Forrester, but behind Bodio there. So we'll see. Last time by quick. Let's see what he's going to do this time by there, Phil. Dave Bodio came in and he's going to time him with an 18.860. Foster with an 18.808. So Foster again faster there in the number 14 machine.
Sure is. The top 2 starting to get a little bit close there. Tyler Chadwick in the 09 running in 3rd. He's starting to run down that top 2 as well. And if they start racing hard, you can imagine that's going to bring not only Chadwick, but guys behind him like say the Rafferty number 07, Odanic number 21, Jay Perkins having a really good run. Frickenick up there, the number 82. Good to see the 82 out there tonight at Stafford. That brings me back to the legendary, Mike Christopher, twin brother of Teddy Christopher out there in the 82. So cool to see the 82 out there running at Stafford. Glenn Pressel now the number 19. He's going to run the 82, put Pressel's 19 car. He's up to 7th heading out toward turn 3.
Watching these guys as Bodio now holding on to the top spot, but the 14 has caught him there. Chris Foster. Foster now looking down to the inside there, Phil, trying to do something there with Bodio. Bodio looked really fast here early in the early portions of this event. Again, it is really early here on lap 16 of 113. Here comes Foster down to the inside, challenging the number 16 of Bodio, and then looks like the 09 of Chadwick also coming right up here into the fray. Good thing for Chadwick there. He's able to catch these guys as they're fighting side by side through the corner.
Side by side through the corner for the race lead. Two fastest cars here tonight. They wouldn't be anywhere less than up front here at this legendary half mile. Forster down low, Bodio up high. Chadwick is there. I'm telling you, Todd, I told you, they get side by side up front. What was a second plus is going to be nothing. Chadwick is there. Almost a three-car race for the race lead now off of 4.
Yeah, here comes Foster getting around the number 16 machine. Here comes Chadwick now looking to the bottom, trying to get around Bodio. Bodio able to hold his ground there about the middle groove up here. But Bodio, I tell you, Phil, I think that's not where you want to be. He's going to burn up his tires up there. That number 14 machine of Foster really ringing it in down towards the bottom. Here comes the 09 of Chadwick trying to fight there with Bodio here down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Bodio still holds on to the second spot, but Chadwick not going away.
Chadwick is not going away there on the low side. Bodio, I think, is trying to slam the door shut, catch his rhythm in that number 16. I think he'll do so as Chadwick, they're going to have to kind of let out the throttle, let the 16 have it. But the 14 of Forster, our race leader, he has really got a grip on that low side. You're not going to let that 16 take a look. He says, you know what, you're going to come up here and race with me. You may have to use your little chrome horn, and that's what we call that little nerf part there in the front end. How many times have I seen the chrome horn used over the years of the modified? It may happen here tonight, and that's why we're calling this race the 3-tap 113, the legendary Teddy Christopher. If you were slow in front of him, he was quicker. He'd tap you once to let you know he was there. He'd tap you a second time to really get your attention. If you're going to hit you a third time, he's sending you. That would a big yeet. That's what Ted Christopher was all about. He hit you 3 times, Todd. You probably were coming back with a steering wheel in your hand.
Yeah, that's rather interesting, Phil, because I've kind of lived by that philosophy. Not quite 3 taps. I was always 2 taps and trying to get the guy up and out. Trying to get the guy out of the way, I should say. Yeah, I'm impatient, I guess, at my local dirt track because I usually tap the guy going into the corner to try to make him mess up. Again, Teddy Christopher, just knowing him from just different things that he's done over the years, watching him on TV there, Phil, you know, that's an interesting fact to learn from a guy like you that's been around this racing for a tons of years, I should say.
I love this sport, especially when it comes to the open wheel modifieds in the Northeast. And I got to admittedly say, Todd, it's been a long time. It's probably been over 10 years since I set foot in a pavement speedway, been away from this sport, this capacity here in the chair as far as the real world goes. For almost, can't believe it's almost been 20 years. So I kind of put the headset away. So just to stay connected to it in this way, I know I'm kind of out of the loop as far as what other guys are doing out there now. I'm going to lean on my audience who has, a lot of closer ties to the world than I do. I lean on expertise of things like social media and people I still have connected to the world. I do miss it a ton. I really do. Unfortunately, I don't think my eyes would hold up in a capacity to run around and chase these race cars the way we ever used to. But, man, it's almost fun. I got whaling on my schedule here at Full Velocity. It really gets my attention. It's hard to get Phil excited for a broadcast anymore. I tell you what. I do so many. The butterflies don't come out for much, but you put these cars on my screen.
Yellow.
From ear to ear as we have our first hit of a record service caution flag. Yellow on the speedway, lap number 27. We have somebody around, first one of the night. All yellow flags at the Full Velocity Racing Network, brought to you by Hanover Record Service.
Flanagan.
And that's going to allow our producer and camera guy, Jack Truin, who's got to say one of the best of this doing this, if not the best. He's going to give us a BladeNo.com Full Velocity instant replay. And I think, Todd, we're going to see Tommy Flanagan in the number 97. May have had a little bit of issues, and this could be a candidate for a selfie.
Well, he definitely drove it into the corner pretty hot and heavy. Got up into the outside wall, rode the wall a little bit there, Phil. No, he didn't spin around. He came to a complete stop on the track, enough to bring out the Hanover Record Service yellow flag, and he called a tow truck and got his stuff towed back down to pit road. So hopefully he can get repaired, come back out there. But something awry aboard the number 097 machine of Tommy Flanagan.
And that what I was going to do, Todd, this first yellow flag of the night, I believe it's going to bring every one of the race leaders onto pit road. And why not? Because you got to make at least one stop here. With the 113 laps, you're probably going to put tires on these things. And something I wish iRacing would do, something that's really typical in the modified world, is, as I said, I don't think Chris Forster came in. usually there's a tire rule in this series. You usually get up to 3 tires. Well, iRacing hasn't come out with that 3-tire pit stop yet. You normally wouldn't put a left front tire on. You put the rears on, you go to the right front. But only in this simulation you get 2 or 4. 2 or 4. I want to see iRacing fix that. I want to see the modifieds bring in the 3-tire pit stop. You ever seen a 3-tire stop before?
I haven't, Phil. That is interesting. I've seen 1-tire pit stops all day long at the dirt track, but this 3 tires. So what is the why do they do 3 tires? What's the rule that makes them only do 3 tires?
Well,
is it because they don't use the left front? Or
that really is true. You got to think the way the tires are set up here, these big tires, right front, obviously a flat track like this, and a lot of the short tracks out there you see up in the Northeast and all over the country for that matter. Not a lot of high banking, so you're probably going to wear the right front tire out. You're going to really set these cars up to live on the rear tires for sure. You're going to stop the throttle down. You're going to spin those rear tires. I'm thinking especially the right rear, a left rear, if you get it peeled into the ground good enough, you're going to get some wear on it. So I think good rear tires are always good. I've seen a lot of 2-tire stops over the years, and just changing rear tires at a track like this, but always, if you get to the rears, a fresh right front tire, never really a bad thing to have. You really don't steer a car like this with a left front tire, I've always noticed, which I kind of take to the dirt with you guys, I've learned.
Yep.
I notice a lot of times the left front tire don't even need to be on one of those cars.
No, definitely not. It comes up and off the ground there with the big block modifieds, and like you said, this is as close as we can get in the simulation there to the big block modifieds. These guys are earth-shaking, ground-pounding. I have to say I've been to a race, but I think it was like 5-6 years old when Jeff Bodine was down to, I think it was, they called it Shangri-La at that time.
Yes, they did.
Shangri-La. And I was a little kid, so I don't remember a lot about that time, but my father was always into the dirt side aspect of things. But, what really piqued my interest in these is just watching them on TV and how fast they go and how well these cars handle. iRacing.com, Ford Mustang pulling down the pit road. The iRacing I flag, green flag, getting ready to come back over the field. Earth shaking, the ground pounding modifieds. Set sail down into turn number 1.
Sure is. Chris Forster going to lead down. Tyler Chadwick, Keith Jeffrey, Glenn Pressel, Justin Carey going to be our top 5 aboard car number 42. As I've been looking over the Facebook Live chat, I've been seeing guys like Brandon Bertle checking in, Jeff Harden. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this show. Love doing these modifieds. Hope you're enjoying it. If you want to hear more of us out there, well, you got to spread the word. No, we're very much known in the dirt racing community. I know we come from the NR 2003 background, but we would love to come do more of this great pavement stuff, especially out here at Modified. If we've got more leagues out there that want to do it, we'll look us up with the Full Velocity Racing Network on Facebook. We would love to come over and do this. As I said, I get up to do one of these races with these Modifieds, and by the grace of God, 650 horsepower. We are throwing it all out tonight, and so far, Chris Forster, without that pit stop, him and Chadwick are in the lead, but we're going to look for guys like Dave Bodio. He came in, put 4 fresh tires on that thing. That number 16 car back in 7th. You got to imagine more grip even on 35 lap old tires. I'm expecting that 16 to be charging through the field.
Yeah, just as you say, 7th, Phil. He's actually up to 5th now. He's able to get around a couple more cars. Dave Bodio and that number 16 machine up to the 5th spot. Right there behind the number 46 of Jeffrey Stanton. It's rather interesting to call my last name on another driver, but Jeffrey Stanton there running in that 4th spot. I believe he also went down, but like you said, Forrester and Chadwick stayed out here, so I'm going to have to see when they're going to actually take a pit stop there, Phil. Like you said, they're going to need a little bit of fuel here to get all race long here. So we'll see what Forrester, Chadwick, what their plans are going to be.
Well, I don't know if they're going to need fuel. I think it's going to be awfully close, but God, if you're going to take 113 laps on tires, whew, I don't see that being a winning strategy, but I do know for sure that 14 is got a really good car. The 09's got a good piece, but I am watching Dave Bodio. He is just running through traffic right now, as you said, up to 5th, and he is down to the inside now looking for 4th under the Stanton, number 46. Stanton versus Bodio. I'm not sure Stanton's going to have much of a challenge here. Yeah. I don't think so. Dave's got that inside lane. Put Bodio now up to 4th as we exit turn 4.
Yeah, Bodio definitely the faster driver there in that number 16 machine. Now he's going to set sail for Glenn Pressel in the number 19 machine. We'll see how fast he's going to be able to track down that number 19 is, again, running in that 3rd spot solidly. But you can watch Bodio. He's just got a whale of a run down the back straightaway here in the turn. I believe this is turn number 3 there, Phil. And he's really starting to reel him in. Last time by, Glenn ran a 19.042 to Bodio's 18.799.
I can't believe a 799 out there after a restart with number 16 coming up through traffic. That car is absolutely screaming. 1.7 seconds last time around. Top two are trying to drive away Forster and Chadwick, but now leading between the two of them, and that raging number 16 of Dave Bodio is unfortunately number 19 of Glenn Presso. Glenn riding in that third spot. Doing one heck of a job out there, holding off one of the best Presso's 19 car, but Dave Bodio, you can almost feel the traction that car has, a little bit of fresher rubber. You can just hear that getting back on the throttle. It's really going through the corner versus you see the 19. You hear him feathering on and off. It's kind of spinning the tires. I think Dave Bodio just looking for a way around to pounce, using a little bit of patience. I don't think he's going to overdrive that car right now. I think he is in perfect position.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Phil. I do believe he's in perfect position. As now Bodio rides down to the bottom side there of Presso in the number 19 machine, moves him back to the fourth spot. Jeffrey Stanton also following him here in that 46 machine, so knocking on the door of the number 19. So we'll see if he's going to peek himself inside the top four. But Bodio now sets sail on Chadwick and Foster. We'll see how fast he can reel those two guys in. They've been lightning fast all evening long. But again, they're not running the lap times that Bodio is.
No, let's see what Bodio do here next time at the line. It was an 18.93 last time by. Let's see as we exit turn 4 what the lap time is for that number 16 car as we hit the start-finish line. 18.94, so slowed down a thousandth of a second. But let's compare that to the race leader, 18.95. So even on 35 lap older tires, 14 car doing a great job holding on to the lead up front. Him and Tyler Chadwick, and you're just going to imagine the 16 car eventually has to be there. The monkey wrench that we throw in right now, Todd, you look up ahead of the 14, he's got lap traffic up there in front of him, the likes of Nick Webster, the number 18 car, maybe a little bit off the pace. Lap traffic, not impossible to play a role here. We come back to New Hampshire last week at 44 cars. Lap traffic was kind of a pain in the butt, kind of, went into the outcome of how this race ended up. But I'm going to tell you what, if you catch lap traffic in the wrong place, Chris Forster could be in a world of trouble, especially with that 16 car closing.
Like you said, Webster right now getting ready to go down another lap, having a lot of trouble there. And that number 18 machine, he's been down on pit road a couple of different times there, Phil. So again, Webster not having the best of luck here tonight as they're starting to really reel him in here. And I wouldn't imagine you really want to catch him towards the corner there when you're entering the corner. You don't want to catch him there if he's running the extreme bottom. I don't think you would want to there. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Really is, and it's still got a lot of laps remaining here, Todd. Next time by, putting 50 on the board, 113 lap main event. We're getting close to halfway,
Yep.
but God, I got to thank you guys for tuning in tonight to Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV, the Full Velocity Racing Network there. Live, every way we go. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, every single night. Love having you guys out there. Gotta thank, of course, the great sponsor here tonight, the Bottle Up Podcast, our friend Jeff McConey. Hopefully we'll talk to Jeff here before this night goes out. If not on the airwaves, at least off air. Get to know him a little bit. See if we can't maybe hook up and do some things cross-road or whatever. But really cool to come out here. Hope you guys are enjoying this show. And, of course, gotta thank our great sponsor here at the network, Todd. We have so many great people behind us that help us night in and night out. I know you got that list in front of you. I know we call them every night. There's so many great people that take such great care of us and allow us to come out here and do this in a big way to a top level each and every night.
Yeah, definitely got to thank our sponsors here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Got to thank Hanover Record Service. Visit or give them a call at 1304-664-3848. Down in the West Virginia area, give Hanover Record Service a call. Also, you want to be a step above the competition, head on over to iRacingIFlag.com and ask Jeff Brown how you could be a step above that competition. Also, got to thank Brian and Kathy Voiles of Voiles Trucking here. Head on over to the Facebook, Voiles Trucking, and for all your trucking needs, they got what it takes. Also got to thank CCM Custom Graphics and Engraving. I tell you what, I've seen a lot of cool things come out of that about. I've even seen engraving on keyboards. It was rather interesting. Some of the videos that Tim Cummings sent me, it was fantastic, fantastic engraving and different stuff that he does. Again, CCM Custom Designs and Engraving is the yellow flag going to come out here, Phil, in the middle of everything going on here. So, Hanover Record Service going to start to go pull out there and see what's going on here.
And it's only the second one tonight, lap 55. We slow it back down and put Jack Truin back to work down there with another BladeNo.com Full Velocity Insta Replay. It looks like this may have got the 7 of Bobby Rafferty. And was that did I see a 24 car involved in that? 42 car, Justin, a tough break. Justin Carey's number 42 was up in the top 10. Looks like he may have had a piece of this with the number 7 car of Bobby Rafferty. And Rafferty was having a really good run, Todd. He was up in the top 5, ran top 3 early, and now he's going to find himself to the back of the field with a lot of ways left to go in the second half of this race. That's not an awful lot of time.
No, definitely not an awful lot of time. Just watching to see what happened here, Phil. They were able to, everybody was able to see it there, but unfortunately, Rafferty was having a good run. That seems to be ended there with a contact with the number 42 machine, as it just looks like they just all got loose over there in the corner. Just a little bit of contact. Rafferty goes around, a little bit of contact too over there in the corner. At least they didn't get up off their wheels. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Don't want a turtle in a modified. Don't ever want to see one.
No,
it's never a good thing if you do. But I got to tell you what, got to thank the crew over at BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. You need hosting for a great website, or how about gaming with a dedicated server, a VPS server, whatever you may need. Well, check our buddies out at BladeNode.com. And if you use promo code BLADE10, you will get 10% off your first purchase there. Once again, BladeNode.com is where you go. We're going to check out our buddy Sam Perry. Of course, Vlad, who's in charge over there, is always busy, but they take great care of you. Great product. You'll be really thrilled with how fast these things work. Awesome stuff. BladeNode.com is where you find them as we work under yellow. 57 laps into the book series. I'm over here watching through the Facebook Live chatter, and I saw our co-partner over here, Todd, our co-owner, Mr. Ranger Ron Piles out here. I see Clinton Jude. I see our buddy Chris Elliott out there as well. But Piles says Todd Stanton for president. and Todd, our newly registered Democrat, affiliated, which makes me kind of cringe a little bit, pucker. But with the field running for president that wing right now, Todd, I'd say you could throw your hat in the ring and probably have this good of a chance.
Where are you getting from that?
No, isn't there a big D next to your name now? The last voting ticket we got in?
No. No, you're not allowed to change that. Phil.
Well, I thought you did, but
you couldn't. You couldn't. I was registered Republican.
Well, that's a good thing. But
we've already got one. I was independent. I was independent at one point, and that's what I really wanted to do, because I could vote either way, you know.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got the big money backing of the Full Velocity Racing Network to back Todd Stanton's independent run for president, and his first donor, our buddy Ranger Ron Piles. And Piles, we appreciate that. We're playing along, of course, but hey, why the heck not? That is what we do here in the Full Velocity Racing Network. Not only the best of the onboard, online race broadcast business, but we like to have some fun up here, bust some stones, and give you guys an authentic feel to all these broadcasts. We're not machines up here calling races. We like to have a little bit of human element, go back and forth. This is what makes us stand out above everybody else. I'll tell you what, as we go back to racing, iRacingIFlag.com, green flag in the air, and the complexion list one up front has kind of changed. We got Brett Cockerham's number 86. Dave Bodier's number 16. We got handfuls of wheel over there.
Oh, man.
Yeehaw!
I knew you were going to do it. We got somebody spinning down through the grass there, Phil. And I tell you, we're going to stay clean and green. But, man, that wasn't a real clean corner. It's the number 16 of David Bodio, able to slice up through the field. And now battling for the top spot there with Kyle Odanik in the number 21 machine. Is Odanik up to the top shelf of the speedway. The 16 down to the bottom, side by side as they dive down off into the corner. The 16 of Bodio, I think, has the preferred group down there, but man, with these newer tires, the number 21 machine is going to be able to hold on to the second spot on the outside.
Yeah, he's doing a really, really good job up there. You look back in position number 3, you got Jeff Stanton, number 46, and then right behind him, who set fast time here tonight? Chris Forstow, number 14. We talked about Bodio having those special tires. Well, guess who has them now? And that's the driver, number 14. He is up to 4th, and that car's so quick, he's even looking to make it, through the... We can't go 3 wide at Stafford. Don't do that, Chris. That wouldn't work. We'll go back 2 wide. He'll look low for 3rd there over in turn 3.
Yeah, he's looking low as he's right now in the midst of a battle. Is Jeffrey Stanton now trying to move into that second spot, trying to get around the number 21 machine of Ordanik. Ordanik right now able to hold on to that second spot, not going away, but Stanton on the bottom side trying to close that door on the number 21 machine. The 14 also charging. That is Chris Forster still trying to look for a way around these guys. He's definitely faster than both these cars in front of him as he's still working over the bottom side of the speedway.
Doing a really good job. Is that number 14? And I'm looking over here to the chat. I see Clinton has checked in asking, what do you think the pick strategy is going to be? And I'm going to put it out to you guys out there watching as well. And I'm going to tell you, I really like the strategy that number 14 played here, Chris Forster. He kind of split this race so just about in half. I think he's come to pit road for the final time. I think guys like Dave Bodio may have come in for the final time as well, but I'm going to think probably, 23, 24 lap fresher tires on the number 14? I would have to think that'll maybe play a role. It's going to come down to, I think race car handling aside, I think we're going to get down to who's going to be the better driver here tonight, and this thing stays in a long green flag run. I think that the front runners, Todd, have pitted the last time tonight. What do you think about it? Who's going to, in the top 3 right now, who do you think's got the money?
That's tough to tell. I don't know a lot about these cars, but, man...
Oh, come on. You've done enough of these races to know over the years. You got to know.
I would like to go with Stan, but I think Bodio just got it. I think the 16. I like Bodio. You can't banner back from him. I don't think. I think Bodio is going to have what it takes here. Not counting out the 14 of Chris Foster, but I got to go with Bodio.
Stanton betting against a Stanton.
Oh,
you just got back a turn there off the front. That little crow.
That's why. That's why.
Chris Forster, that's why he says
he's got my luck.
Betting on a Stanton. Make sure it's not a Bills logo on the back of number 46 either.
Oh,
that is
probably not.
That'll be the kiss of death right there. But Forster kind of probably could have finished Jeff around, left it out of the tires, let him get back to it, and in doing so, Chris has also let another car get slipping around him up to third, and that's going to be number 88. Keith Jeffrey having a very quiet run, but he's up to the third spot. Look at the guy in charge over here at EastWest. Great run for number 88.
Yeah, Keith Jeffrey right now running in that 4th spot. So Chris Foster was able to get back around him. Here comes the number 21 of Ordanek down to the bottom, trying to get around Jeffrey once again, but Ordanek gets a tad bit loose, leaving the door open there for the 09 to try to pass him on the outside. That is Tyler Chadwick. As Chadwick gets up behind Jeffrey, man, he has nowhere to go. Looks like he's trying to put it up through the middle there, Phil. I don't even know if 3 wide would work here.
Just begging him. Don't try it. I mean, we talk about dirt racing a lot. We do it a lot here on the network, and our good buddy Rocky Benfield says, 4 wide will work, 5 wide will probably work about 6 feet. I think 3 wide here at Stafford will work probably about 1.5 feet. I don't see that working well. I hope we don't do it. I'm hoping guys like Tyler Chadwick will use a little bit of patience. That's what he's doing right now is he's working under the 88 there of Jeffrey over to the turn. You got O'Danik at number 21 up ahead, who may have a little bit lesser tires right now than the 09. So those guys doing a great job. That's racing. What is that? 4th on back there over to turn number 3. But what it's doing, it's allowing that top 3 to walk away. Bodio, Stanton, and Chris Forster's number 14 car. They've got this field on about 2.5 seconds between this really good race with the 88, 21, and 09.
Yeah, they're definitely having a good race there as those guys are trying to gap the rest of the field. As the 21 back to the bottom again, O'Danik in the number 21 with the 88 of Jeffrey still on the outside. I mean, it's a great side-by-side battle as these guys come off into the corner here. The 09 again of Chadwick trying to get to the outside. You got Steven Rogers right there too, Phil. And that number 9 machine, he's on the outside. So these guys definitely doing a fantastic job. Number 82, I think that's the 82 creeping up there too.
I believe that is the 82 car creeping up in the picture of there off the corner of my screen. That would be, of course, Marcus Frickenik aboard the number 82 now up into the, I believe, was it 6th or 7th there? He's racing with Steve Rogers in the number 9. So they're having a good run. This battle up ahead with O'Danik and Jeffrey and Chadwick is really good as well. But top 3 have begun to pull away. Bodio holding on. Jeffrey Stanton there. They're kind of the meat in the sandwich between 2 really good cars. And you can't really hate on Stanton too much, that 46. He did start 8th tonight. So a little bit of pitch strategy, a little bit of speed, a little bit of luck. How about that 46 car running in 2nd? It is good to see a Stanton running good on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Because every time I feel like I talk about one, usually on dirt, and it usually ends up leading and running good early and usually chokes. Sorry, Todd, I love you, but it's the truth.
At least I can make it out of the pits.
That's true. That's true. We'll leave it at that. What you want to help me one day? Put me in a dirt street stock on a broadcast. You want to see how much I talk crap on guys, and I'd probably never do it again. That'll humble me real quick. That's why I sit here and do this and dish it out, because I cannot hold my own out there. I'm the first one to admit that nowadays. I can't do it. I'll sit in this chair. We'll do this all day. We'll do it all day long here. With
maybe a demolition derby is good for you.
I'll tell you what, we've talked about Demo Derby, Survivor Series. We've got Wreckfest. We fired it up the first time today in the household. Wasn't me and the daughter played it. I'm going to probably jump behind this thing maybe a little bit later on if the old lady goes to sleep here in a little bit, but we'll see. But we're running down on laps here. 82 laps on the board of 113. The 3-tap 113 paying honored homage to the late, great Teddy Christopher, who was a many-time, I think he was 157-time winner here at Stafford Motor Speedway. I could be off a little bit on that. Maybe somebody can correct me. But guy who won tons and tons of race here over the years. Paying the homage up here to him in a great race up front because it is Stanton's number 46, Forster's number 14. Dave Bodio, he's got some company over in turn 3.
And Dave Bodio has got company in the form of Jeffrey Stanton down to the bottom there. Then number 46 machines, they flash by the start-finish line. Jeffrey Stanton down to the bottom side there as Bodio drifting up the track just a little bit. Don't count out the 14 of Chris Forster, too. He's running in that third spot there, Phil, just waiting to get around both these guys. Those guys about identical lap times is Jeffrey Stanton and Forster there at number 14.
Forster doing a good job, but I got to give it to that 46 car, that Napa of Rockwell, North Carolina machine. Jeffrey Stanton giving it to one of the best here, the all-time winningest driver at the EastWest Promotions. Dave Bodie number 16, Stanton there, and you got behind the number 14, that Subaru Splash and Go Designs. Number 14 of Chris Forster doing a heck of a job, riding in the third spot. Now as Bodie looks like he may get the run up high using all 9 degrees of that banking. I thought Forster may follow suit, and he still may. He's going to peek out to the right rear of that number 46 over in turn 3.
Here comes the number 46 again. And it's Jeffrey Stanton to the race lead. First lead lap change for him. Able to lead the lap there in the 46 machine. Here comes the number 14. Not wasting any time. Forster is now down to the inside of Bodio in that number 16 machine. Bodio drifts up the track again, leaving the bottom open. I think Bodio something, I believe he's wasted his tires a little bit there, Phil. These guys just able to pick him apart there. And now he's going to drop back to the third spot.
I think you can just kind of see them beginning to give up a little bit as Bodio now drops back to the third spot. And Dave's a veteran. Let's not get him wrong. Let's not sell him short. If he can muster anything left in the race car, maybe ride it back to them in line, maybe get single file, cool the tires down, maybe make one more late race run at it. But the story right now is that white and blue number 46, Jeffrey Stanton, leads Chris Forrester up there in that second spot. Dave Bodio is third, Tyler Chadwick, and Keith Jeffries, number 88. He is holding on to a very game top 5 finish. With that Fricknick, number 82, Marcus doing a really, really good job. He is up to 6th, and he's going to give Keith Jeffries' 88 car all he can handle. Him and O'Danick, the 21, they're in a dead heat side by side off of turn 2.
O'Danick, as you were talking, Phil, I kind of looked up Ted Christopher, all-time winless here at Stafford Motor Speedway, 131 wins.
I knew I was up there somewhere.
131 wins. What do you pick at? Pick at? Is it pick at?
What do you pick at?
Yeah, 77. That's the next closest guy. So,
wow,
yeah.
Woody's up to 77. God, I remember Woody was a pup. God, I can't believe 77 wins. That's impressive.
Definitely impressive. But what's impressive right now, Jeffrey Stanton pulling away from Chris Forrester. And then number 14 machine as he battles it out there with Dave Bodio. Bodio now looks like he's going to drift back into the third spot as the number 14 of Chris Forrester now holding on to the second spot. We'll see if he's able to track down Jeffrey Stanton and then number 46.
I'm going to tell you what, that's a good race up there. But Todd, this 2-wide race we have between Fricknick's number 82 and Kyle O'Danick's number 21. They have been door-to-door, side-by-side for about 5 or 6 laps. O'Danick doing the best he can on that number 21 Connecticut number, that spot 21 CT machine running up high. Then you got that, the Horton Aviation's car, number 82 down low. Marcus doing one heck of a job. They are door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel, off turn number 4, down the front straightaway. And you would think this was racing for the win. That's hard-nosed racing for 6th. That's what makes short-track racing what it is. That's what makes these open-wheel modifieds what they are. It don't get too much better than this on pavement, I tell you what.
No, they're definitely putting on a whale of a show, and not a lot of yellow flags either, Phil. And that's something I like seeing, is these guys just a little bit of contact there made them into the wall or other thing like that. But they're not really tussling each other around, as I say that. Oh, the 21! Oh boy, the 21 going into the wall there. I don't know if he is able to keep it going there, but motor. It looks like the motor on the number 21 machine. Unfortunately, O'Danick in the number 21. Still green flag racing, though. So,
And I'll tell you what, and I'm not sure if it's something hit the wall, the motor went and sent him in the wall. Maybe Jack go back and take a quick look at that with a BladeNo.com full velocity instant replay. No, we usually don't do that under green, but that's a developing story there. Kyle O'Danik's car up in smoke as we approach the triple-digit mark. 98 laps on the board, getting a little bit tad racy up front. Stanton's doing a great job. Forster doing a great work up there, but we talked about Todd, really clean racing, and there was contact back there with the O'Danik machine, number 82, a Frickenik. They got into it. It looks like 21 came out no worse for the wear. Kyle was having a good run. Hate to see that. That was some really terrific racing they had going.
yeah, I have to agree with you there as they're getting ready to go for, I believe they're getting into lap traffic here. Looks like the form of, I'm trying to see what car number that is. That might be the number, that is the 24 machine. Out there on
Jeff
the speedway.
McConey.
Yes, and McConey, I couldn't see who he was. McConey there, drifting up the track there, letting the leaders by. 46 of Jeffrey Stanton still leading, but the 14 not going away. Chris Forrester has been all over his rear bumper there, Phil. Maybe give him a tap there towards the end of it. We have 13 laps remaining down the back straightaway. We'll have 12 laps remaining when we flash by that start-finish line. Can Jeffrey Stanton hold on for 12 more circuits?
Well, we'll see. He's got 5 more miles or 6 more miles to do so aboard car number 46. Got to give Jeff McConey a shout there. From one broadcaster to another, you know, I know, Todd, it lives near and dear to you still. One of the announcers at Stafford Motor Speedway, Jeff does a lot of his work on down on pit road. He's got the Bottled Up podcast, which is really good. Check him out today, Bottled Up Radio over on Twitter. Check out the podcast. It's really good. Upcoming episode with Andy Seiss, who's not only a modified standout in the Northeast, also did really good in the ARCA Series, man, really good at Daytona and Talladega, and now going to join the ranks of the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2020. So that may be another budding star there, Andy Seiss. Check him out on the Bottled Up Podcast, Bottled Up Radio over on Twitter or wherever you may get your podcast from. But this race for the lead as we approach 10 to go between Stanton and Forster. It's a good one. It's right in the throes of lap traffic, which may play a big role here.
Yeah, definitely. Lap traffic, though, seems to be pretty courteous here, Phil. The Stafford Motor Speedway, those guys getting up and out of the way. If they're down at the bottom, yeah, they're making sure that they go up to the top shelf of the speedway, let these guys just roll in the bottom. Here comes the 14, challenging down to the bottom side of Stanton. That's the 14 of Chris Forrester as he's trying to pull up alongside of him. Stanton slams the door shut, though. On the number 14, going to have to try it one more time. It looks like Forrester, though, Phil, getting through 3 and 4 a lot better than Stanton.
He really is, but the only problem he has right now, Todd, is just trying to find that room down there and do it clean. He's way down on the flat. He's got the big run through the corner, and that may be the money move. That could be the move that wins the race. Oh, contact! Forster's up on the wall. That's a huge hit, and that's going to no doubtably put us under the Hanover Wrecker Service yellow flag. We need a Hanover Wrecker. We needed a flat bet on that one. Chris Forster took a wild ride. Somebody go down there and make sure the driver is okay, because that is a hard hit, as we'll revisit that on a BladeNo.com full velocity instant replay. That was hooked on the right rear, and that is never a good sign. God, Chris has to be just really disappointed that it kind of got tore up like that.
Yeah, it looks like Forrester getting loose down there on the bottom there, Phil. I don't know if it's the apron, has anything to do with the apron. Is Jeffrey Stanton running right there, and he just comes right back up the track there in front of him, right there by the start-finish line. So I don't think you can blame Stanton for that one. As Forrester just coming out, it just seemed like he maybe got a tad bit looser or just misjudged something there in that 14 machine.
I'm going to tell you what, you go on the flat of an apron, I don't care what track you're at, You're going to take all that out of there. You're probably going to get something on your tires you don't want. It's going to get the race car cut off. We don't set these cars up to run on the apron. So I think that may have happened there as Chris had a big run, kept his foot in the gas, maybe not completely under control. You can't fault the 46 for racing a race win here late, holding his line, just hooked into what would look like a really loose race car with a 14. Tough break for Chris Forster. Had a really good piece, but man, I mean, you hate. I'm sure Jeffrey's going to hate, feeling that way as well. I don't care if it's good, hard racing. It's not your fault. You hate to take out a fellow competitor late in the race because that was shaping up to be one really good epic finish.
I definitely agree with that. As Jeffrey Stanton was not going away. Either was Forrester there in the number 14 machine, but now it's going to put Bodio right back into the thick of things too with Jeffrey Stanton. How much damage did he acquire in that little tussle there, Phil, in that 46 machine? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. It looked like he was starting to get loose too on entry with that 46.
Looks like he may have been a little bit as well. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. And we're running down on laps here, Todd. 110 going on the board next time by. And I believe we may see lights go out around the speedway. I believe another trek around. So we may be setting up here for a good old-fashioned 2, maybe 1-lap shootout here. And we're not going to see the green-white checkers we have come to see in iRacing. They said that there's not going to be one. The 113-lap distance will stand. So this race will hopefully end under green. But if we have to, we'll end under the yellow flag. So this time as we work through, I believe we're in what? Turn number 1 and 2. I see the billboards there, the little video screen off of turn number 2. It's going to be Jeffrey Stanton going to lead as we complete 111 laps. So you got to think the pace car lights. We're going to pray they go out this time because I don't want to see no race under the yellow. Not one that's been this good.
No, definitely not, Phil. I have to agree with you there. I wasn't sure if they were going to have a green-white checker. I thought they said something earlier when we talked to them about that, but definitely something we don't want to see is those guys end this under yellow flag conditions. As I look up and trying to look to make sure that that was not.
I have a developing situation.
There is.
Breaking news. The number 46 of Jeffrey Stanton from the race control starter stand has been put to the end of the longest line for the contact there between himself and Chris Forster. So Jeffrey Stanton, who was in the money spot that may have picked up the win as we got 1 to go, now move Dave Bodio up to the race lead with Tyler Chadwick and Keith Jeffrey. Oh, man, you hate it for Stanton. It's just good, hard racing. He's put to the rear. I guess that sometimes happens. And we go iRacingGuyFlag.com, green flag, 1 lap to shoot up, white flag in the air. Dave Bodio leads him off 2.
Yeah, Dave Bodio in the number 16 machine, like you said, the winningest driver here down the back straightaway for the final time into turn number 3. As off of turn number 4, Dave Bodio aboard the number 16 machine, going to take down the victory here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Dave Bodio going to pick up career win number 12 on the EastWest Modified Tour. Put the number 16 into victory lane. Second will go to Keith Jeffrey. Third for Tyler Chadwick. Fourth for Bobby Rafferty. Marcus Frickenick rolls up the 82 with a top 5 run. Good rate for Marcus. Brad Ringer, the number 4 car. Terrific run, going to finish up 6th. Kyle Ammon with a 7th. Chris Forster holds on for an 8th place run. Glenn Pressel 9th. Steven Rogers makes up the top 10. 11th goes to Jeff McConey. He was 1 lap down. 1 lap down also was Justin Carey. Jeffrey Stanton will finish up 13th. He was 2 laps down. Also, Rick Webster's number 18. Kyle O'Danix, number 21. He was behind the wall. He finished up 15th. 16th goes to Jason Perkins. Duck Cockerham will finish up 17th. Alex Oriens 18th. Scott Bryant 19th. Tommy Flanagan 20th. And rounding out the field will be Kurt Vidgen aboard car number 7, as I am hearing the banter back and forth here before we get up to the post-race show. These guys both agree, Todd. Good, hard racing. They know there was no ill will to the racing. God, you're going to hate it. Both guys are really racing hard. It really sucks that neither of them are going to win this thing. Dave Bodio for the 12th time, the big winner here at Stafford.
Yeah, like I said, I got to make my pick, Phil, and guess what? He won.
He won.
He won.
All right, so this is what we're going to do next. We are going to jump over to the EastWest Productions Discord. We do all our broadcasting over in TeamSpeak. We think it sounds better. We're going to go over there and talk to see if we can't get our top 3 over in Discord. We'll talk to Dave Bodio, the race winner, Keith Jeffrey, and Tyler Chadwick. Don't go anywhere. BladeNo.com post-race show coming up next. All right, back here live inside the Stafford Motor Speedway, where tonight's 3-Tap 113, presented by the Bottled Up Podcast, goes to a driver of car number 16, Dave Bodio. Second goes to Keith Jeffrey. Third to Tyler Chadwick. Don't know if Tyler is going to join us, but we do have the guy, the man of the hour here, the number 88, Keith Jeffrey. Keith, a very, very good run for the 88 car. Had to come from position number 11, past some cars. A lot of green flag racing, man. Tell us about that 88 car.
Well, I probably didn't have a second place car tonight. I just got it too tight, really, really tight in the middle. And then, as you probably saw, I think everybody was loose off, just had a real hot track, but just kept it clean, made a big adjustment in the pit that helped it turn a little bit and capitalize there at the end.
Wow, man, a really terrific run face. The racetrack was really hot. I got to imagine it was slick to the handling of the race car. And now talk about the green flag laps. We had a lot of green flag running. Guys that came in early for tires, like Dave, looked like they may have lost a little. Guys like, say, Chris, if you will, or Jeff had really good pieces. They pitted a little bit later. How much for track conditions really playing off to those tires here?
Yeah, like I said, it definitely was something that I don't think a lot of us accounted for, but the track was just so hot that we were slipping and sliding everywhere. But as you can see, we got a great group of guys here, and it made for great racing. There was definitely some bumping and shoving, but it was still, it was all nothing overboard, and it was just great to see that racing. And for somebody like me that had to start near the rear or in the middle, that's what it was going to take to get up front, was long green flag runs.
And the testament to what really makes a great league is I hear them through the iRacing chatter there. I hear Jeff and Chris going back and forth. They are both laughing, really good, hard racing. So that's always great to see when the guys can laugh about it after a good race like that. But Keith, terrific job. A second place run. They don't come easy over here. We're going to see you guys a couple times, hopefully, for the balance of the year over here. We can pick up a great sponsor to do this. But Keith, let me give you the microphone one more time. Thank all the great people that got you here tonight. Friends, family, and sponsors. Whoever else you have to thank.
Man, I got to thank all the guys at the Down and Dirty Show, powered by Polaris Razor. This Jim Beaver team has been awesome. Also, General Tire, Four Wheel Parts, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, Impact. All of them. Super ATV, Vision Wheels. We've got a great group here. Real life sponsors that are getting on board with the esports deal, and it's been a lot of fun with this team. I can't thank them, all the guys at Jim Beaver Esports, enough. It's really been a great journey so far, and I can't do this again without thanking my wife for putting up with all this. So, Kayla, I love you.
Love that right there. Well, this is a great gentleman right here. Keith Jeffrey, the number 88, grabbed second tonight here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Don't think we're going to get Tyler Chadwick, which is too bad. But I'm going to take this thing, as I always do post-race. So I'm going to throw it down to BladeNo.com, Victory Lane, or my partner in crime, the legendary Mr. 212. And he has got our winner down there for the 12th time. Dave Bodio graces Victory Lane.
Yeah, he's able to put me in Victory Lane for the picks here tonight, too. My monkey off my back here. Dave Bodio with the number 16. Having a fantastic run here this evening, Dave. Tell us about the race here. A lot of green flag racing and a lot of different strategies going out there, but tell us how you got this one.
I think I got a little lucky on this one. I was a little more free on entry, more so than exit than I wanted to be. I just couldn't charge the corner, also just got free all through the middle. Sometimes you get lucky. I thought the track was going to cool down a little bit with a little bit later of a start, but we ended up starting pretty hot, and I was way too free.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit free. It looked like a lot of the guys were slip sliding around just a tad bit off the corner exit with those cars. Was that the case with yours too? Corner exit a little bit tricky?
Yeah, definitely on the longer runs, and especially on the last stop there, I took 2 tires to get some track position, and it was just way too free after that, especially in, but also off.
Well, being the winningest driver here, taking down another win and etching yourself in history here in the Full Velocity Network, because you can go back and watch it each and every time. I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours, Dave. Thank you here this evening.
Yeah, guys, you guys definitely do an awesome broadcast after the New Hampshire race. I was really impressed, and I'm glad that you guys are going to be doing some more for us. Also, just like Keith, I want to thank all the guys at Jim Beaver Esports. The past couple weeks we've had some real good runs with Bobby and Connor and the Rallycross cars, Bobby and the USAC cars, Justin, myself, Keith, Joe Lusk, and the modifieds last week. It's just been an awesome ride here recently with some real good momentum. Also, like to thank General Tire, Jim Beavers, Down and Dirty Radio Show, Dirtfish, Four Wheel Parts, Impact Helmets, Vision Wheels, 07 Designs, and Sonic Designs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up the feature win here tonight, driver of the number 16 machine, Dave Bodio. Phil, what a fantastic race here. And I was glad to be a part of it here, being from the dirt side of things a lot, but glad to be a part of asphalt side of things for once.
And I'm really happy to have you aboard here tonight. Happy to have a guy who's really made a name for himself these last couple of years, last year for sure. December 2018, the debut of the Bottled Up podcast here, Bottled Up Radio. I guess we call him the president, Jeff McConey, joining us up here now. Jeff, first of all, man, welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network. Thank you so much for stepping up and being presenting sponsor something like this. And, man, a fellow announcer, a guy who I was a Stafford 20 years ago, a guy like yourself still there. But it's great to have somebody else in fraternity join us.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it really is a fraternity. Man, I could not believe it. I actually started out last summer. I was in the production crew working in the replay booth. My job was to sit and watch all 4 cameras at once, see where, see if there was going to be an accident somewhere, and if there was an accident, what replays we send up, who we thought was at fault, stuff like that. Second weekend, an announcer can't make it. He's sick, can't make it, and they say, hey, new guy, here's a microphone, you get up there, and you go out and stand down pit road. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And then I guess from there, the fans enjoyed I guess a younger voice, because the other announcers that I worked with are, 50, 60 years old. Right. They've been doing this for years. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And I'm down there and I was so excited to be there. I was excited on the microphone and everything else. And I guess the fans said, hey, we want to hear more of this. They had me back the rest of the summer. And at the end of it, they said, hey, come on back next summer. We'd love to have you. So that was, that's where I ended up. Surprisingly, my most, I guess, viral moment was, if you guys saw the Doug Covey interview where he was swearing over the PA.
Yes.
That was me who said he was heartbroken. They said, Jeff, we have headsets on. And they said over the headset, Jeff, get down there, go talk to Doug. And I'm like, oh, okay, boss, you got it. So I go over to Doug Covey, who you can feel the anger radiating off this man. And I used the word heartbroken, and he was not heartbroken. Let's just say that. But
I love the story, and I tell you what, I was a young announcer at once upon a time. I had to do the same interview to an angry Ted Christopher, and if you ever knew Ted back in the day, especially back in the years where him and Mike didn't get along, they would wreck each other at Stafford more times. I knew I interviewed Ted one night as a young 19-year-old. I'll tell you what, you want to be intimidated. A guy like Teddy Christopher's forever going to have an ominous presence here at Stafford.
Oh my goodness, yeah. No, I was never lucky enough to have met Ted, unfortunately. But I'm good friends with his nephew, Mike Christopher Jr., who's running the 82 car. They're living on the legacy, so it's great to see. But yeah, it's when you go to some of those big name guys, Doug Covey, Ryan Preece, and you look them in the eyes, and it's your job to get them to tell the story, and they're seeing you, and they're just as scared as you are. That's where it's like, that's the moment where you realize what you're doing, because they don't want to say anything bad. You don't want to say anything bad, and everyone there is just trying to do the best job they can.
Now, my first interview job at Stafford was interviewing a 16-year-old Martin Truex Jr. on pit road after his first Busch North pole. But I go back and forth all day about this. This is great, man. Jeff, welcome to the family. For those that don't know much about the Bottled Up podcast, let everybody in on the secret out there that this thing is really blowing up in a big way. And Andy Seiss coming up in that next episode. That's a pretty dang good name going into the Xfinity Series, Nick.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with him when I recorded that interview. He actually made a pretty big announcement for the team, which I'm not going to spoil. You're going to have to listen in. It'll be, by the time you're getting your morning coffee, Bottled Up is going to be posted, ready for you to listen to. That's the way it is every Saturday. But he actually made a pretty interesting announcement for our Motorsports. So be excited. Make sure to listen in. It's available anywhere you get your podcast: iTunes, Google Music, Spotify, TuneIn. If you go to my Twitter page, you can find right where I host it. And it's just, it's it's a labor of love doing that podcast, but it's great being able to tell stories and get the name out. And that's what I like to do. The goal is to just tell the stories as they are, be as unbiased as I can, and get drivers in. I've had Anthony Alfredo, Christian Eckes, Ray Evernham. I had some spotters on, Landon Castle spotter, just a lot of different people on the show. It's a very laid back atmosphere, and it's actually, as far as I know, the only NASCAR podcast that's just one host, one guy talking. So if you're not up for the back and forth conversation, it's more of a here's what's going on. You can listen to it while you're drinking your coffee on Saturday mornings. You're out working in the yard or you're at work. Just tune in, hear what drivers, crew members have to say, and sometimes I just go on and ramble for 20 minutes, and that's the episode.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Well, Jeff, welcome to the family, man. Hope we do this again, and thank you so much for keeping short track racing alive. It's really great to hear the younger guys. It reminds me of me back in the day, but keep it going, man. Congratulations on all your.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it, but at the same time, if you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. So that's the goal.
That's it right there. Well, great guy here. Great gang all over here at the EastWest Promotions. And to my partner, Todd, one more time. If you can't appreciate what this is all about over here at the Asphalt Modifieds, man, I'll never convert you back to this world. Though you've converted me to a full-time dirt guy, but man, to bring me home like this, God, you can just tell I'm in where my comfort zone is. 20 year removed, it fits like a glove.
I was definitely psyched to come back here, Phil, and kind of go to what I call your niche here, where dirt racing's my niche. Asphalt modified racing has been your niche for many, many years that I've known you here on the Full Velocity Racing Network and any other broadcast company that we've been a part of, Phil. So I'm glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad to see a little bit more of this on our schedule. And I'm going to make as many as I can on a Thursday night, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I got to say thanks to all the gang that watched via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. I saw our buddy Brendan out there going back and forth. That's always a good sign of Modify World. Got to thank Keith and Kyle, all the gang over here, EastWest Promotions, for our great sponsors, of course. Of course, thank you. What are we tonight without thanking Bottled Up Radio? But also got to thank also Hanover Record Service, iRacing, iFlag.com, Voiles Truck, CCM Custom Designs and Engraving, BladeNo.com, South Texas Speedway, Miller Media Production and Design, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Brendan over on YouTube. For Jack Truin, Todd Stanton, Ron Piles, Blake McCandless, the rest of the gang over here that makes it the Full Velocity Racing Network. Phil LeCasse going to sign off. We'll see you back here next time. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back here Sunday night, DWRL doubleheader. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Good night.